Hello, Team Transtastic. As I promised, I am back, and I'm thrilled to be back to the channel. I just realized I was going through some of my archives, or yeah, the archives I have on my computer, and I think it was around this time last year that I posted my first video on this channel. Maybe not exactly in July 1st, but I'm pretty sure that I'm very close to the time where I began posting. I think I've learned a lot about how to make videos, even though I am still very basic in this department. The noise outside of my room, it's still here. I have not found a way to fix this, but I'm very happy. I'm very thrilled to have another amazing year in this channel and see how this family grows. So the topic of the week is writing. I'm also very happy that I managed to be back around this time because of the topic. I think you can get the idea that I like reading a lot. So as many people who like reading, I also like writing. I think I want to focus on how writing has helped me in my mental health and realizing things around like this whole journey of mine. So I'm going to pick up some journals very quickly. Ugh, damn, they're dusty. So I began journaling around high school. I bought my first journal that I wanted to take seriously. So it's this one. It's a red Moleskine. Now I think it's so obnoxious to own a Moleskine, but around the time I felt like the coolest kid in town having this notebook. Anyways, so actually I did pretty much only drawings, but I did a lot of writing, and my handwriting is disgusting. This is not autofocus. Okay, not bad. So I had this one. I had another Moleskine. Yeah, I had two Moleskine, two of these notebooks, one red, one black. This was the second one, and when in this one it was nothing. Look at this elastic. I only did very basic things like drawings and short stories and things just for fun. When I finished with this one and I got this one, I was more serious. I think I was 17 or 18 years old. Anyways, and I was more focused on writing, creative writing as a career. So I wanted to really develop that. I have some flowers in the pages still, and that's what I used this one for. But when I finished high school, so I had this one between 17 and 18 or 19 years old, I think. When I finished high school, I became very depressed and I stopped writing altogether. I had the last things that I wrote in this notebook, or at least that I remember I wrote, were poems that I wrote for my ex-girlfriend. We had a kind of like a rough breakup. Bear in mind that I was still living as a girl back then, so yeah, you can figure. So when I quit creative writing, I became journaling, and this is the journal. So look how ugly this is. This is the journal that I used for my, let's say, mental health journal. This was actually my French notebook at the time, and one day I was full on depressed mode. I think I had been going to therapy for a short time. I felt nothing. It was one of those times in depression when you feel nothing. And I remember a fight that my dad had with my brother, and I was thinking about that, and I started to write, thinking about it. And the way that I did it, it was like my mind at the time was so confused and was going through so many things. I couldn't reason very well. I couldn't use my mind very well because I was so depressed and anxious, and it was a bad time. And I found that when I wrote things down it was like my mind was being clear. The only way that I could find reason in things was when I wrote them down first, was when I used language, and that's when I started to be so interested in linguistics and language, and I became journaling as a form of self-help, and I still do that sometimes. So I actually was reading it a couple of months ago, and I tried to look for every single page when I mentioned something related to my gender identity, trying to find like where did it start, where and I looked at it and I see bits where I talk about myself in feminine form. You know how Spanish is weird. When I sat down one day 3 years ago, I think, and thought, okay, I'm going to figure this thing out, because I am tired of not knowing what the heck is going on. Oh, here it is. So it says enero, febrero, marzo, abril, April 19th, 2015. Quest. It reads Quest. I saw a video on YouTube that said something, discovering your true gender identity and something, and not letting your fears stop you. That's the title of the video, actually. You can look it up. And so basically, check the video, and I wrote down everything that I was interested in. I wrote a line between female and, I don't know if this is in frame, between female and male, and if I feel I'm somewhere over here, and I don't know why I have a square and a circle, I have no idea, but yeah, I feel over here. So I was close to the middle, but I was leaning towards the male spectrum. That's how I got it. That's how I managed to reason things, writing them, drawing them. It was my thing. I wrote some questions, and it was like a workshop. It was like I was doing some workshop. Just write, just write down things. Practice makes perfect. I promise you. And I will see you next week. I have nothing else to say. I've run out of words. I will see you next week, guys. Goodbye.